Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have Epaz Inc. It trades on the OTC Pink sheets under the symbol EPAZ and is a leading cloud-based software company that specializes in providing customized cloud applications to the corporate world, higher education institutions, and the public sector. Please welcome its VP of Communication, Michael Manahan. Welcome, Michael.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so excited to be presenting today and telling the Epaz story. I really think we have a wonderful story to tell, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me for a few minutes and let me talk about it. I'm going to get right into the meat of our presentation, skip over the title page, and of course our customary safe harbor, which I think is standard in these presentations. But let me give you an overview of I think it's important to understand how Epaz started. What was our kind of role in the past? And everybody's familiar with legacy software systems. So these are software systems that were built 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, a lot of them for very specialized purposes. And our CEO, Sean Pasley, who is a PhD, he's I consider him to be a literal genius in software development and in writing software applications. He figured out a way to take these old legacy software systems. In many cases, these software systems were ones where the original coding had been lost. And he was able to take these software systems and convert them into cloud-based applications so that they could continue to be used and continue to be sold. And that was really the founding part of our business. And over the course of a number of years, we acquired a number, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of around 20 of these old legacy software systems, all very specialized. And I'll just give you an example of one. One was a system developed for managing conference rooms. You have a conference room, rather than using a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, you have a little software system to manage bookings for the conference room. Well, that's an example of one of the software systems that we acquired, and we converted into a cloud-based software. So that was kind of the impetus, the founding of our company. And the technology that we developed actually allows us to go in and convert these legacy-based systems into cloud-based business software. That was kind of our founding. We have about 500 customers who use our various software systems. But then we started to move into adding the latest kind of what I would call technological advancements into the software that we were developing and that we were using. And that would include things like Metaverse, blockchain, and also doing some work in the cryptocurrency area. And we'll talk more about that. One of our latest products that we're working on is a product that is called DeskFlex. And what DeskFlex is, it is a virtual reality meeting system. Okay, so you've got products like what we're using right now for this presentation. It's kind of two-dimensional. I can share a presentation with you. You can see me in a two-dimensional aspect on the screen. Most of you have probably used something like Zoom, where you can have a number of two-dimensional people up on the screen. And again, you can share documents. But it's not really virtual. It's not what we would call the Metaverse type of an application. And that's what our DeskFlex is. It really is a virtual reality meeting space. So you can, do a whole bunch of things you can't do on a platform like Zoom. As an example, you can actually share and touch physical objects. But in order to maximize the use and the value of that DeskFlex Metaverse meeting system, we're also developing what we call the Epaz Slim virtual reality glasses. And that's what you see on your screen right there now. They're ergonomically designed, lightweight. You know, one of the problems with virtual reality headgear, you've probably seen these things. People are wearing things, they're your big, massive piece of a headset. And those are great, perhaps, if you're going to wear them for a short period of time. But they're not really conducive to the business environment. And again, we are a company that develops business application software. So we said if we're going to do things in the virtual reality, the metaverse space, we have to develop our own glasses that will be lightweight, easy to wear, comfortable, and that will be safe for wearing for long periods of time. So in addition to our DeskFlex Metaverse meeting system software application, you will use our custom designed glasses that are ideally suited to pair with our software. And by the way, our DeskFlex Metaverse meeting software will work on pretty much any application, whether it's a cell phone, and a tablet, laptop computer, desktop computer, and so on. So it's a very functional product that we are developing. Again, DeskFlex Metaverse Virtual Office. Part of the reason we started to develop this is because with COVID happening, it is pretty clear that remote work is here to stay. And different companies are going to have different numbers of employees who are working remotely, but remote work is here to stay, and conventional tools for remote workers to meet are just not up to what businesses need. And that is why we are developing the DeskFlex Metaverse Virtual Office. Each individual employee will have their own literal 3D avatar that you will be able to put on your glasses and enter the meeting using your own avatar. And it will be, you know, for all intents and purposes, just like everybody was sitting around in a conference room at a typical meeting, and you're going to be able to share and actually touch things in the meeting. And it just will be a step up and an advantage over kind of what we're using now, which is Zoom type applications. We really think that our application can facilitate what is now becoming just very commonplace, and that is that we now expect that a significant portion of our workforce is going to be remote, but not just our workforce. It's also other agencies and other people that we're working with. Not to say that person-to-person meetings are done with. I think they'll always have a part in how business gets done, but I think we will see more and more people moving to virtual type meetings, and we need the best tools possible to make those meetings as efficient and as effective as we can possibly make them. So in the DeskFlex Metaverse Virtual Office, people will collaborate with colleagues. Doesn't matter whether you're home or you're in the office. We will use multiple realities, real world, augmented reality, and even virtual reality. And because our custom designed glasses have all the movement sensors and the cameras in them. We will be actually able to share and touch virtually 3D objects. And it is just going to make the remote meeting experience significantly more interactive and significantly more functional. And that's the purpose of our DeskFlex Metaverse Virtual Office. So what really is the difference between Metaverse Virtual Office and typical video conferencing, which, most of us are familiar with? Metaverse Virtual Office meeting, you're going to have real-time remote and in-office employee participation. Obviously, it's made through our DeskFlex app. Again, the app is agnostic. It will work on just about any device that you might be using, whether it be a cell phone, a laptop computer, or a notepad. It uses our proprietary virtual reality glasses that really allow you to have a complete sort of sensory involvement with what's going on in the meeting. You'll get 3D images of colleagues, objects, documents, whatever's going on in that meeting. You'll get, in effect, a 3D image of that. And it really is going to replicate the experience of being together in an actual physical space. And we actually see some applications going beyond just meetings. We think our software can also enhance communication between field workers and people back at a remote location. And just to give you an example, think of this seasoned plumber who's spent 40 years doing plumbing. He or she no longer able to crawl under the under the house, but he sends the apprentice under the house to look at the plumbing. The apprentice looks at the plumbing, and through the virtual reality glasses and the virtual reality software, it's as if the journeyman apprentice or the journeyman plumber is right there looking at what's going on with the actual job that needs to be diagnosed and fixed. But that's not our only product. Again, that is one of the products that we are working on. Another one of our products is the Tiller Stack Field Service System. This is a product that was acquired through Zenitech, which is one of our subsidiaries, and it's that Tiller Stack Field Service System kind of integrates with the augmented reality technology, and it I kind of give an example there, but really what it allows you to do is connect somebody who's working in the real world with experts remotely who can be watching what's going on and guiding the activities of the person in the field. And we think the applications for that are very, very substantial. Everything from things like the example I gave of a plumber, right to medicine, perhaps a doctor operating on somebody and needs the advice, the assistance of somebody else who, an expert who might not be in the same city, might be across the country or even across the world, who can, using our technology, see what's going on and assist in performing that operation. Brings us to another one of our software applications, which is our Cryobo blockchain technology. Now, one of the questions people are always asking is, well, how's this blockchain technology actually being used? Well, our Cryobo blockchain software is designed to tokenize real-world assets. And some of the applications that we're working on right now are real estate. Now, everybody's probably familiar when you develop a real estate project, it's often very common to syndicate the real estate project. So what do? You form here in the United States and something called an LLC. You sell membership units in the LLC, and whoever invests gets a membership unit. Well, that's great, but the membership unit is a piece of paper. It is illiquid. If you want to sell it, it can be challenging or difficult to sell. But with our Cryoba blockchain technology, we can tokenize that real estate project. And that means you can get a token for your investment interest in that particular real estate project. And of course, with blockchain and tokenization, there are markets developing for the tokens, and the tokens can be sold in those particular marketplaces. So it's a way of increasing the liquidity of the investment, but at the same time making it more secure, because the blockchain technology is extremely secure, as opposed to getting some paper certificates in an LLC, which technically, could be falsified or duplicated or something like that. And we are already working, not here in the United States, but internationally, with a number of companies to actually issue these tokens for real estate investments. A little bit about our company. Our leader is Sean Paisley. He's a PhD. He has 4 master's degrees. And as I mentioned to you, he is, I think, anyways, my opinion, but I think he's a software genius. He gets software. He gets how software is developed, how software is coded, and he certainly understands how these new technologies like Metaverse and blockchain and cryptocurrency, how those new technologies integrate with software. And one of the issues we have, of course, is it's great to throw around these new technologies, but how do you use them? How do you create a business platform that makes those things viable and functionable? And that is exactly what Epaz software does. We have a significant team of software developers and mechanical engineers that are working with us and for us. Not all of them are on a full-time basis, but we have a huge resource of software developers. And as I mentioned previously, we've launched about 20, a little over 20 B2B software products. Again, most of those were developed based on us taking old legacy systems and converting them over to a kind of modern cloud-based language. And so all of them are SaaS-type applications. We have a sales team that is busy working to monetize our products. A lot of what we do in terms of selling is done over the internet. If you go to our website, there are web demos that you can apply for, and you can see our many different applications on our website. And of course, we do have people talking to government agencies as well, because some of our products are suitable for government applications. We're not just a US-based company. You know, one of the nice things about business today is that even small companies can be global. It used to be it was multinational corporations. They were the only ones who could operate in many different companies. But we have been able to expand internationally. We have offices in Phoenix, Toronto, Dublin, Berlin, and Dubai. We plan on opening international offices in London, Sydney, Sao Paulo, and Davao City in 2022. So our software applications are not just for use here in the United States. They have a global audience, and we're very excited about continuing to move internationally with our products. Kind of a roadmap for 2022, where we'll be completing the DeskFlex Metaverse Virtual Office. We are looking at securing land for our Cryobo land projects. We're looking at United Arab Emirates and Cyprus. Again, we're an international company. We're going to complete the real estate tokenization software application. We will be releasing ZenaPay Bitcoin. That's through our subsidiary Zenitech, but it is something that will allow people to use Bitcoins that are combined with a debit card. We intend to begin trading our stock in the United Kingdom and just continue the ongoing development of our diverse software applications. If you are interested in further information, of course, you can email us at investors@epaz.net. Our phone number 312-955-8161. And I should just mention, because I don't think I kind of glossed over it in the presentation, but you know, we did revenues of $1.8 million in 2021. And we continue to expect those revenues to continue to grow as you know, as we roll out more of our software applications. Well, that concludes my presentation. I thank you very much for listening. And if there are any questions, I am happy to take any questions at this time.
Okay, thank you, Michael. We do have some questions for you. Dan G says, you touched on some of your products. Can you give a status update on them as far as sales and growth, namely your DeskFlex, the drone, cryptocurrency interests, and blockchain?
Well, you know, the DeskFlex is still closing in on the development stage. We're looking for completing development of that sometime in the next, probably towards the end of the first quarter, or more likely in the second quarter of this year. So that is pre-revenue. What other softwares did you ask about?
The drone, crypto, and blockchain.
Okay. The tokenization for the blockchain, that also is completing development, and we're looking at being able to tokenize our first project with that particular software somewhere in the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. Our drone application software, which I really didn't talk a lot about, but that is kind of exciting. That is kind of through our subsidiary. That application is in the works right now. It is actually being used and actually generating revenue. And that, just because we didn't talk much about it, that is a software that allows for a drone to survey a crop and feed information about the crop back into whoever is managing that crop application. And one of the things it's being used for right now is in Europe, in the in growing hemp. And hemp, of course, is related to cannabis, but hemp is what a lot of companies derive CBD oil from hemp. And for people who don't know, you can maximize the yield on a given acre of land by having the right proportion of male and female plants. And so the drone is able to survey the field and communicate back to the person managing the crop where there is an excess and or shortage of either male or female plants, allowing the whoever is managing the field to go in and harvest or add additional plants. And we are able to significantly boost the harvest off of a given agricultural plot through the use of this software.
Wow, that's fantastic. Manny,
yeah, it's really exciting stuff. I didn't even know until I started working with Epaz that hemp plants had males and females.
I knew that, but now you know. Most plants do. Okay, so Manny R asks, first of all, he says, congratulations on the recent stock movement. Can you say if that is due to the elimination of any stock financing? If you had any?
You know, I can't talk right at the moment about the stock financing, but you know, I think, and this is just personal opinion, I think part of our stock movement is that we're just more people are knowing about us and about what we're doing. We've been out there kind of telling the story, the word's getting around. We'd, of course, like to get more people interested in our company and tell our story more, because we really think we have some pretty spectacular software applications. But yeah, I think part of our stock movement is just that there are more people learning about us and interested in what we're doing.
Lots of questions here. I'm going to try to condense them for the time we have. Jeremy Roderick and Karen Feddick wants to know a little bit more about the Desk Flex. Like, when is the projected release date of the Desk Flex and slim glasses? Plus, how can we see a demo of the Desk Flex Metaverse office?
Well, those are very good questions. And again, I think I mentioned, but you know, the Metaverse virtual office, it's you know, our goal is to have it completed this year, optimistically, maybe by the end of the second quarter. And I'm not sure we actually have at this stage a demo on that particular piece of software. It may be too early for a demo to be available. I know that we intend to put up on our website information about this product as soon as we can. So one thing I would recommend people do is be frequent visitors to our website, because I think there is information on our website that updates people on the progress that we're making on our various projects that we're working on.
Last question from Sam Lowe. How are you currently financed? Do you need to go to the markets to raise funds to take these projects to the next level? And if so, how much do you need to raise? And will this be done with debt or equity?
Okay, at this stage, we are cash flow positive. We are you know, funding ourselves because we do have revenue. And don't forget, we have these legacy softwares that we converted over to cloud-based systems. And while they don't generate a huge amount of revenue, they do generate very consistent revenue, and it's profitable revenue. So we're using that money to develop these new applications. Right now, there is no immediate plan to go into the market for any of our projects. If we did in the future, it might be for expansion and marketing. But really, the goal, we believe we have the internal resources from our cash flow to develop the products and bring them to market and get the initial users using the products so that we have a proof of concept. We got a track record that these products function the way that we expect them to. At that stage, we may sit down and look to see if we need to bring in additional resources in order to really get the products out to the market as quickly as possible.
Well, fantastic, Michael. We have some more questions for you, but we're out of time, so we'll send them to you so you can answer directly. Thank you so much for joining us on our conference today, and we hope you join us again with some future updates.
Well, thank you so much. I very much enjoyed telling the Epaz story.
All right. Okay, everyone, stay with us as we transition to the next presenter. We're coming right back on.